What if you could speak to someone who had already crossed to the other side? What would they tell you about the prayers you say every day? Today, I am going to share a story that will completely change how you think about a single Hail Mary. This isn't fiction, it's an account recorded by Blessed Alan de la Roche, and it comes with a message so powerful, it might just transform your prayer life forever. Imagine a convent centuries ago. Within its walls lived a nun whose life was marked by devotion. She wasn't famous. She didn't perform miracles that made headlines. But she had one defining characteristic, a deep, unwavering love for the Rosary. Day after day, she prayed those familiar beads, greeting Mary with the ancient words, "Hail Mary, full of grace." It was her companion, her comfort, her connection to heaven. But life wasn't easy for this devoted woman. In fact, her final years were marked by intense suffering. She became bedridden, confined to a small room, her body racked with agonizing pain. Can you imagine it? Years of lying in that bed, unable to move freely, every day bringing fresh waves of suffering. The kind of pain that makes hours feel like days, and days feel like lifetimes. Yet through it all, she clung to her rosary, her fingers moving across those beads even when everything else in her life had become stillness and pain. Eventually, as all earthly journeys must, hers came to an end. She passed from this world, and the sisters she left behind mourned her. They remembered her devotion, her patience in suffering, and her love for prayer. Life in the convent continued, as it always does, with prayers marking the hours and days flowing into weeks. Then something extraordinary happened. One of her sisters in religion, another nun from the same convent, had an experience that would shake her to her core. The deceased nun appeared to her. Now we need to pause here and understand what this means. This wasn't a dream or imagination. This was a genuine apparition, the kind that leaves no doubt in the person who witnesses it. The sister who had passed away had been given permission to return, to deliver a message so important that heaven itself allowed this supernatural visit. And what did she say? Her words were simple, but they carried the weight of eternity. She told her sister, "If I were able to return to my body to have the chance of saying just a single Hail Mary, even without great fervor, I would gladly go through the sufferings that I had during my last illness all over again, in order to gain the merit of this prayer." Let that sink in for a moment. This woman who had endured years of being bedridden, years of agonizing pain that we can barely imagine, said she would willingly experience all of that suffering again, every moment of it, just for the opportunity to say one more Hail Mary. Not even a particularly fervent one, just one simple prayer. Think about what this reveals. From the perspective of eternity, from the vantage point of someone who now sees things as they truly are, a single Hail Mary is worth more than years of the worst suffering imaginable. The merit, the grace, the spiritual treasure of that one prayer outweighs all earthly pain. What was it about that prayer that made it so valuable? The Hail Mary isn't long. It takes less than 30 seconds to say. Most of us can recite it from memory. Yet this nun, looking back from beyond death, recognized something we often miss in our daily routines. Each Hail Mary is an encounter with grace. It's a greeting to the Mother of God. It's an acknowledgement of the incarnation God becoming man through Mary. It's a petition for her intercession at the hour of our death. Here's what makes this story even more striking. She didn't say she needed to pray it with perfect focus or overwhelming emotion. She said even without great fervor. That's incredibly important. How many times do we skip our prayers because we don't feel particularly spiritual in the moment? How often do we think, "I'll pray later when I'm more focused"? This nun is telling us that even a simple, straightforward Hail Mary said with basic intention and respect carries immeasurable worth. The contrast she presents is stunning. On one side, we have years of physical agony, the kind of suffering that would make most people desperate for relief. On the other side, we have one Hail Mary. And from heaven's perspective, that single prayer is worth infinitely more than all that pain. It's not even a close comparison. So what does this mean for us today? Right now, in this moment, you have something that none would have given anything to have the opportunity to pray. Your body is still in this world. Your lips can still form the words. Your heart can still offer that greeting to Mary. Every Hail Mary you say today is an opportunity she would have traded years of suffering to experience again. This story isn't meant to make us feel guilty. It's meant to wake us up to the treasure we hold in our hands. When you pick up your rosary beads tonight, or when you say a quick Hail Mary during your busy day, remember this nun's testimony. Remember that what seems small and routine to us is actually precious beyond measure. The beauty of this message is that it's never too late. Whether you've prayed the Rosary every day of your life or you just learning about it now, you have today. You have this moment. And according to someone who has seen eternity, that's worth more than all the suffering in the world. So the next time you're tempted to skip your prayers or to rush through them without thought, remember the nun who appeared from beyond death with this urgent message. Remember that she would gladly endure years of agony for just one more chance to say what you can say right now. In this very moment, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Your opportunity is now. Her testimony reminds us, don't waste it.